Hare Krishna. Today we're going to talk about paying attention. The title of this talk is called Pay Attention to Guru and Gauranga. And we're going to start with a quote by Srila Maharaj. Devotees of Lord Krishna, please try to give great attention to this celebrated Lord Gauranga. He has come down for you here. You please note, pay attention. The highest thing of your deepest desire is passing through your door, and you are neglecting it. You're deceiving yourself so much, you're losing an immense opportunity. I appeal with my utmost prayer and feeling, please pay attention to the words of Lord Gauranga. This is a quote from Srila Maharaj. In all manners, try to welcome Krishna Consciousness. We're not talking about a specific society here or only a small fraction of devotees. Srila Prabhupada commented that there are numerous bona fide societies within our sampradaya. Our vision should be broad, but the important thing is to remain within the parampara connected to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Once we have started our Krishna conscious journey, we focus on being conscious, Krishna conscious. We can easily remain conscious when we chant the Mahamantra attentively, without offenses. And we should all make sure we chant attentively first and foremost, to the best of our ability. Yes, obstacles of different types will come. When we are on the path of the holy name, many agents of Maya may come to test us or to distract us from our endeavor. These are most notably Kanaka, Kamini, and Pratishta, the desire for wealth, sense pleasure, and popularity. In Vaishnav K, who is Vaishnav, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta has compared Kanaka, Kamini, and Pratishta to a ferocious tigress who devours one's Krishna consciousness. Kanaka, Kamini, Pratishta, Bhagini, Chadiya, Che, Jare, Se, Ta, Vaishnava, Se, Anashakta, Se, Shuddhavakta, Samsara, Tata, Bhaya, Para, Bhava. The desire for enjoying cheap fame and material distinction acts like a ferocious tigress who devours one's Krishna consciousness. Similarly, dangerous are the desires for enjoyment of wealth and women. Someone who has transcended these materialistic desires through devotional service is indeed a real Vaishnava. Someone with such Krishna conscious characteristics is truly unattached to material life. He is actually a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Thus, the cycle of repeated birth and death is easily defeated by a pure devotee of the Lord. End of quote by Sarasvati Thakur. Direct sense pleasure, and then money, by which we can collect sense pleasure, and pratishta, pride, that is the consciousness of one's position, and that is called prestige. Prestige is only valued by your false friends group. There are people of different stages. One may want to be famous in the money circle. Some may seek position in a scholar circle, scientist circle, and some seek a position in a saintly group. That would explain why, even among devotees, you find people who are power mongers and insist on being worshipped even if they give very little to their followers. A guru, a sannyasi, a preacher is only the servant of his or her followers, not a deva or a king. Demanding recognition is very dangerous, and this state of mind will only bring more hunger for prestige and more disappointment more disappointment for the followers. None of these parties should ignore the signs. If you feel uncomfortable with a certain preacher, a certain association, perhaps there is some cheating going on, some motivation coming from the side of those who demand respect. Lord Chaitanya has advised, one should not expect any respect for oneself, and one should be ready to offer all respect to others. That is real humility. But false humility, or worrying about being respected for the wrong reasons, is just another form of exploitation. Elimination is progress, but elimination must be scientific and real, not false elimination. It is only possible by having enough sukriti, pious deeds, and sadhu sangha, association with great sadhus and like-minded devotees. Actually, some advanced devotees association can give you more sukriti. These two things will guide you properly, safely. What should be eliminated? Obviously, those three above-mentioned items: the desire for wealth, sense pleasure, and popularity. But even Vaikuntha has to be eliminated, even Ayodhya. Why? Because the mood of complete surrender and dedication is only found in Goloka Vrindavan. Our fate is connected there through Rupa Goswami. We do not espouse the mood of our reverence pertaining to the Vaikuntha planets. We give respect from afar to those Vaikuntha devotees and ask for forgiveness. Raghunath Das Goswami says that even when the inner attraction is coming towards Madhurya Rasa, himself does not feel qualified. He says, the attraction for the highest class, I am not fit for that. Rather, I shall try my best to stick with a friendly circle, Sakyaras. I'm afraid that the highest class may entice me in a false way. I have so much great fortune. I must not indulge in such a manner that I will think I have attained the highest point of success of my life. Rather, I shall try to stick and stay in the lower group. And Uddhava himself prays to become a creeper in Vrindavan, so the gopis' feet will touch his head when they walk. So we might eliminate Vaikuntha, yes, but we approach Goloka Vrindavan with utmost care, not walking in the pastimes with our shoes on, so to speak. So we pay attention there too. We cannot enter proudly and with a triumphal mentality. That will only lead to Sahajism. So the advice from our Guru Varga is don't aspire to worship the Lord with awe and reverence, and at the same time know the goal. Krishna book by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami is an excellent introduction to make us understand what is the goal, the prayojana, in a safe manner. And certainly, let us not neglect the opportunity to associate with higher Vaishnavas who are superior to ourselves. Shripanach Maharaj described in one of his articles, there is a proper way to cultivate Krishna consciousness, and there is a proper line. We have to understand what that is. Of course, we learn that by following our guardians, we have a Sangha, and we welcome other Vaishnavas. But we have a standard that we look for. We are not judgmental. At first, we are open, and then we judge by the result. In this way, we come to reject certain levels of association. But we have always kept the principle of Vaishnava Sangha. We have created a Sangha of like-minded devotees with some seniority there for guidance. And we recognize the higher Vaishnavas if they are present on the planet. End of quote. In other words, don't accept everyone as a Vaishnava because they are wearing tilak and mala. Make a connection with Lord Paramatma in this life. Krishna in the heart will guide you to the correct association. And the price for this association is sincerity and eagerness. Kama, lust, Krodha, anger, Lobha, greed, Moha, bewilderment, Mada, pride, and Matsarya, envy, are the 6 robbers on the open road, meaning that these bandits meet together on the road of life and rob us. From Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur commentary on the Mana Shiksha. Shri Bhakti Shuddhodaya says, Yasyasat Sangiti Pumsho Manivat Syat Satat Guna Svakula Hridaye Tato Diman Svatu Naveva Samshrayat. By associating with someone, one develops their qualities, just as a gem reflects the colors of a nearby object. Thus, an intelligent person, for the sake of his own community, should take shelter within his own group. The purport of this is that unwanted things within the heart cannot be eradicated by yoga, etc., but gradually by the power of the association of those Vaishnavas who are free from pride, then they can all be destroyed. Srila Bhaktivinoda commentary on the Mana Shiksha. One may ask, who is most important to do first? What is most important to do first? Getting rid of the negative or accepting the positive? When you have a glass of ink and you want a glass of milk, what is the most efficient process to get that result? Yes, if you keep pouring milk in a glass of ink, you will finally end up with milk. But the process is tedious and costly. The best way is to throw away the ink, wash the glass, and pour milk into it. So yes, getting rid of the negative first and then accepting the positive is the best solution. Krishna or Bhakti Devi will come and sit in a purified heart. We cannot practice properly without it, with a lot of anarthas. We have to go through the process of anartha nivriti in order to progress. With a lot of anarthas, one cannot practice properly. We should not pretend. Often we see a lot of imitation devotional service in an ashram or temple. Yes, practice, but be honest. If you have a bad habit, don't hide it. If you do, you will remain a neophyte for life. You cheat yourself and others. Within good association, you can be honest. The Vaishnavas will not be envious and point fingers at your defects. They will help you. That is how it should be. Again, Srila Bhaktivinoda states in his commentary to Mana Shiksha, by constantly meditating with a mentality that material sense objects such as sound, etc., are the cause of happiness, attachment arises within a yogi. Due to attachment to these, a thirst for enjoyment is born. When that enjoyment is repelled by something, then anger, which burns within the mind, disturbs him. From anger, bewilderment appears, and there is a loss of discrimination in regard to knowledge of what is to be done and what is not to be done. From bewilderment, the destruction of memory arises, and he forgets about his intentions to conquer his senses. From destruction of memory, destruction of that intelligence necessary to attain knowledge of the Atma comes. From destruction of intelligence, again he becomes absorbed in samsara. End of quote. We have to protect ourselves against this loss of intelligence. It might come in an insidious way. This is why introspection is necessary. Always question your motivations and chant as purely as possible, always reading inspirational works such as Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam, aiming at understanding our position in the world of bhakti. The only way to do so effectively is to keep good association of like-minded Vaishnavas. To a certain extent, as much as it will help our progress toward the spiritual, we may also utilize some paraphernalia. And such paraphernalia should be utilized for higher realization. It should not become a distraction. How many so-called Krishna conscious musicians and bands Srila Prabhupada dismantled? If you are preaching through some means, such as music, then it becomes very easy to lose the goal and to forget what you are doing. Even food, rest, sleep, all these things in the midst of which we find ourselves, due to possessing a material body, are used to perform our sadhana. Everything may be utilized, but carefully. Even difficulties that come inevitably in our lives can be utilized for realization of a higher purpose. We can learn lessons from our difficulties and realize so many things, such as we are not the doer and we need to surrender to the will of the Lord at every moment. So, not only favorable things can be utilized in Krishna's service, but also unfavorable things may be utilized for our progress, such as difficulties standing in our path. Those difficulties are there to remind us that our search for Shri Krishna must go on despite everything. It is especially easy for the householder to just worry about money, for example. And when things get tough, then they might give up their sadhana. But if we truly have developed the mentality of utilizing everything in Krishna's service, you can take advantage of such tough times to contemplate your fallen condition. Even if you do not ask for anything, Krishna will help you. He knows what you need to go on with your seva. Srila Maharaj explains, it is my own karma, a bitter experience. It must teach me a good lesson, that my connection with all these things has a reaction. So I must not stay here in the land of reaction any longer. They will help us from the negative side, those impediments. Sanatan Goswami gave a bribe to the jailer and got out of jail. Sarva dharmam parityaja. Duty of every phases we should live. Anabila sitya sunyam karma janmadya nivritam anukulenya krishna su shilanam bhaktir uttama. Elimination and acceptance. Progress means elimination. To give up the present, to welcome the bright future. Yato bhaktir adokshtaje. The substance, the truth, is such that He has kept you with all your senses below. He has transcended your world of experience. So adokshaya, undistinguishable at your present position. Only distinguishable by the scripture, we can get some hint and from the saints. Otherwise, it is not known when He will come to me. Now I am making a sacrifice. I am surrendering to the unseen because I'm disgusted with the present. Tad vidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya prepat. I surrender to the truth. Why? I am disgusted with the present. So pranipat. Pranipat means wholesale concentration, exclusive concentration. I come to here to get to work for my relief. I am disgusted, pranipat. Then pariprashrina, honest inquiry, and seva. Why do I want it? I only want to be utilized for His purpose. Only with this idea, not that I shall get some valuable things there, and I shall take that and utilize that here to fulfill my lower purpose. Not that. Seva, I'm seeking only my master, that I can be a slave to Him. With His spirit, we must perform seva. I want the highest company and only to be utilized by Him. I want to serve, not to enjoy, not to exploit. With this attitude, we should be seeker after the truth. End of quote by Srila Maharaj. Here, Srila Maharaj points out that difficulties are an incentive to make progress and realize we do not belong to this material world. Sarva dharmam parityajya, and that we should abandon any religion or philosophies which do not support Krishna consciousness. When we pay attention and become conscious, we can clearly understand our fallen condition, which stands in the present. And we can form a mentality where we will come to serve the Lord with full surrender. Sharanagati in the bright future. We accept what is favorable for our Krishna consciousness and eliminate what is unfavorable for our progress. And he explains, Srila Maharaj explains further how we do not practice that very Krishna consciousness for a lower purpose, trying to acquire money and position in the process of bhakti. No. Seva to Shri Krishna means that I'm seeking to serve my master and I have a desire to be utilized by him only. I am not in a temple or ashram to enjoy or exploit the environment or others. It takes determination and sincerity, and those who act differently from this pure attitude actually, deep down, have no faith in the process and waste their valuable human life. Even worse, they might mislead other bhaktas into the path of being reinserted in the wheel of samsara of repeated birth and death. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental world, unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterpreted to completely satisfy the self. Srimad Bhagavatam 1-6. We first come to Krishna consciousness when we are disgusted with this position in the material world. That is our first motivation. Once we are tired of repeated birth and death and all that implies in between the two, we finally come to our senses and aspire to devotional service. The next higher stage will come to us naturally. You just focus on your energy, and you invest your power in following your spiritual master's instructions, and the next stage will come automatically to you, the higher stage. There is no need to endeavor for something else or pretend. Rather, we remain simple and sincere. Automatically, we progress towards the ultimate goal. We are children in the science of devotional service, and the bona fide guru gives us instructions we can maintain and understand. He guides us on our level. He advises, go far, but not too far. You finish your course of karma, then you'll be lifted to the place of Naishkarma, Jnana, and then Bhakti. In this way, he guides us slowly and surely towards the goal. Pay your full attention here. Then you will be able to know the end. And your march from this point will be sincere and satisfactory. Otherwise, Sahajism will enter your heart. You cannot reach the mountain top in one leap. That is impossible. You have to march. But that march must be sincere, real, satisfactory, and you must make real progress, not imitative progress. Again, be true to yourself, be sincere. The prayojana is to be reached. There, everything is conscious, made up of spiritual substance, made of Chintamani stone and Vaikuntha elements. Goloka is the highest position in that Vaikuntha, and this is our goal. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Please like this video and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. And we will see you again next time. Hare Krishna.